What up, people? I didn't know it was going. We are actually here. We have a video. Heather. Um, we have a video we're gonna show. I had this planned. But on top of that, we are gonna have the man, Mata himself. I know people have been asking that were helping us with this cause. What's going on? And what was going on is the Fort Worth system down there was holding him and trying to not let him out. I don't know the exact details. We will find out, I'm sure, just in a few minutes here. But it's crazy. We posted the bond Saturday and it's now Tuesday and he's just getting released. That whole system's kind of crazy to me because it's a little different up here. You post bond up here, you're out usually within the few hours. I have to keep exactly, Heather. About time. It is literally crazy what they are doing to this man. It's mind blowing. He will be on. I have to keep my eyes peeled for when he jumps on. Let's bring up a video. We'll bring up a video until he's ready. And this is actually a video of, where is it? This is a video of our mayor. I'll explain it, but this was last week, so let me pause it. We've been having trouble with meeting with our mayor here in Willimantic. I've been trying to meet with him literally since I've been doing this, and we've had no success. I've caught him a few times out, like when I caught him at the event at Willimantic at Gilson Square, and my camera was off, and he approached me and asked me, said hi, and I asked him why they're withholding public records from us, and he stated, this was his answer, "How old are you?" So I told him, and he told me I should be out effing BITCHs instead of worrying about public records. Kind of sad, isn't it? It blows my mind. After I got arrested and the paper made a big deal out of it, he told everybody, "Oh, I'll meet with him. I'm not ducking him, I swear." Set up a date. The day we were supposed to meet, he backed out, and his reasons was he can't talk about my arrests, and the town attorney and the town manager are quote unquote the ones who told him about that. Jim Rivers is the town manager. The dude doesn't even understand our basic rights. So I wouldn't rely on him to make any decisions. Oh, here we go. Let me get this down. What up, guys?
What up?
What
Can
up?
you hear us?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Mata's coming in now too, it looks like. Is he having
Mata's
trouble?
coming in.
I'm so pumped, dude. I've been waiting for this for so long. Well, not so long, but days. It feels like a long time. I clicked him on. It looks like he's just having trouble.
Okay, it's not working on Talk Online.
Oh, is that... You want me to click him back on? I can try.
I'm right here.
Ah, what up, bro?
Hey, man. Made it.
I'm so happy to see you free, man.
They really tried. And it was weird, too, being that there was... Look, this is because when they put me in the charge, but they didn't know what the charge was, and so they wrote it out. I said, that's cool. Right? I asked them who the stop. This is what they do. Remember, they arrest you, body camera.
We were just on our way to bring it to you.
Right, the time. Right? So, Fort Worth police, a detective, I think, always reads it. Sometimes they'll help them rewrite it, and they'll say it's because of misspelling or some shit. Right? My thing is...
Hey, you're cutting out, bud.
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you right now, but I seen it. I heard it. I wasn't sure if it was cutting out everywhere else, but it's everybody's saying it's cutting. Um,
Oh,
try it. Go ahead. See what happens. Because you've been all right for a few seconds.
yeah. Okay.
It's not working
No.
right.
Hey, this.
Let me see. I don't think there's anything I can do over here.
This little thing right here.
Gotta put it in here.
We're trying, guys. I'm so happy, man. You don't know how happy I am. Like this whole thing
Can y'all
trying to
get
get you out. When I can hear you now, it sounded like it was going to work.
Give me that.
It's like it
Look,
goes
I
for a
picked
few seconds and then it cuts
look.
out.
Look, I delivered his picture.
Hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's like every third or fourth word, then it cuts out and then it comes back. It's weird.
But it's better now.
I can hear you now. I could hear you, Melissa.
Yeah. The signal right here where we're sitting.
Yeah, it works for like 3 seconds and it cuts. You're froze right now.
But yeah,
Yeah, you're frozen.
I just want to thank you, man, and everybody out here, man. Because truthfully, like I said, man, they pick on our disadvantage, right? And are not intelligent enough they're doing. And this is what makes. Truthfully, I used to fight them with my hands all the time, but then I started using it's driving them crazy for real. Like I know what they're doing. I know every. I read it all the words like throughout. I was incarcerated to read a lot of paperwork and stuff in because after you read all their books, that's all that's left. Their law library.
Yep.
And I like undercover nerd. You know what I'm saying? I like understand. You know, so that they looked at me with tattoos and the way I dress. You know, and it's
Well, you said
like,
something the other day, dude, that really stuck out. And when we were doing the live and you called in, you had said you got to stop fighting these people with your hands and start using your heads. And it's true because every time, like you said, I mean, I don't know how many people, but there's been people. I mean, I've fought with the cops. I think everybody's had their chance if they've been arrested multiple times that they've fought with the cops. And all that does is really make it worse for us in the end. Even if we're 100% right, it just adds another charge and more BS onto what we're doing. And if we step back and we use our brains and we start playing their game, we're going to start beating them at their own game. And it's sad. Like you, I've watched tons of your videos lately. Like I've heard about you for a long time, and that's why when they came to me with the opportunity to help you, I've never done anything like that because I'm still pretty new. But how could I say no to helping a fellow, not just a fellow auditor, but somebody who puts in so much work and still goes at it? Like I
yeah,
respect it 100% because I feel like that's how I am. I don't like to back down, even when if I know I'm right, I'm not going to back down. And I see it happen online and I've dealt with it in my own life, but I've never not done anything wrong and got arrested. I've always had some cause for my arrests before, but now that I'm literally getting arrested for nothing, it gives me a whole new perspective on the situation. Like my case, I just got the police report today from when they arrested me in New Britain 5 months ago, where they put the complaints in from, it was actually, I thought it was one person, but there was two, the payroll lady and the lady from records. They both lied. They put that they were civilians when they weren't. That's what it says on the complaint, civilians, when they're public servants. And then they lied throughout the whole thing. I have irrefutable video evidence of what happened. And the report still doesn't line up with what actually happened. The report's a bunch of BS. So I could only imagine, dude, what all your stuff says. You know what I mean? It's
I have most of it, and you would be. I have a couple affidavits that they keep, but we got them, and it's like, and this is. I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to people, man, because look, the thing, it doesn't it doesn't tell you that it's clear. It's states clear. East Texas here, right? That you trespass. It don't work like that here, right? Because the only way you can get trespass from here in Texas, Fort Worth, is disturbance, and their policies and procedures state the same thing. The penal code, right? So employees cannot be the complaints, no matter what, right? Because if they say, like you just said in your, right, and that protects weird that they don't pay attention. They can lie and say, well, I'm a civilian, but you refuse. You just don't like what they're saying, and you ignore it, and then back. Like that's weird. Like I don't think they should. Like once you think you're doing something right, and let the court decide you're wrong. When else, right? They want everybody to have a right. It has to be that. I think it should be more reports and putting someone into jail because you're taking them away from their homes. They're free to do what you're doing. Your words are lies, right? And they're taking someone home, doing something that's supposed to by the federal government.
yep.
It's backed by so many different yearly. Now, I want you to picture that they're getting overturned and their community because of that simple thing: speech and freedom of press.
Yeah. Well, and also, dude, like they lied in the report, right? Well, the stuff they lied about in the report still isn't a crime. Like they said, oh, I followed these ladies to their vehicles, which never happened, and that the ladies needed to pair up because they were so scared, which never happened. I even stated it in the video. I'm going to walk away so they can get in their car because she feels uncomfortable. Like I knew it. I wasn't there for her. I wanted to film the police. So I allowed her to leave. And that's the worst part is like none of this stuff even adds up. And like you said, the courts, the prosecutor, I go to court and the prosecutor doesn't even review the evidence. Like she had no idea about anything, but she's offering me 3 years of probation and she's adding charges that the police took off because they knew they didn't fit. And it's just pathetic. Like I've went to court and I've asked them multiple times to, review the evidence. You know what I mean? We got Heather coming up too. Sorry, Heather. I'm still getting the live stuff down, but I seen your message. You're up, Heather.
Hey, yo.
Hey, what up, girl?
Just glad to finally see him out breathing fresh air.
I know. And like I've said this whole time, guys, I did my part, but this was mainly the girls behind the scenes. This was Heather. This was Melissa. This was Great Lakes. I know he's not a girl, but he goes in the category. This was them. I was just approached with the idea to
And
help
Lupe.
to get him out. And I said yes. But most of this was Heather and Melissa. So we got to make sure they get the credit that's due.
And his girl Lupe.
And Lupe,
Yeah.
yep. I can't, yep. Sorry, forgot about that. But even the other night, Heather, when you jumped on and you did your part, you really helped us there. And I'm just grateful. I would have felt like trash, dude, if we went through all this work and either we couldn't get you out or they changed something and wouldn't allow you out. I would have felt so bad. But knowing your story, I mean, man, you're the only one that's, even after I had court last time, dude, you called me and asked me how I did at court and how I made out. I didn't even talk to anybody else about court. You were sitting in jail dealing with real life stuff, and you still took your time out to call me and ask me how I made out. So I respect it. And honestly, I say it all the time. If I can help, I will help. And I think that This was one of those times, and just to see it come to fruition and work, dude, this is awesome for the people to see, because we can do it. And like you said, when you were sitting in jail, the law library and this, yeah, that helps, dude. But being free is, there's nothing better than being free and fighting your case, because you're limited when you're locked up. And people don't understand that. It's not like you can just go to the law library wherever you want or be there all day. You know what I mean? There's stipulations. And you just needed to be home to fight this stuff.
Manuel don't need no law library.
Well,
He's
no,
got most
he
of it
doesn't.
in his head.
No. That's another reason I'm happy he's home. Now I can call him and bug him whenever I need to.
I'm gonna send you my number.
Is that new?
Yeah, I need it, because that's what Melissa said. She's like, you got his number? I'm like, I started talking to him when he was in jail, so I only know his jail when he would call me.
Here.
But
Hey,
It's-
Melissa.
Hey, babe.
we got a bunch of people. We got some people in the chat talking. It's just
That's my
awesome,
girl.
dude. What they did to you, not just last time, but what they've done to you every time, is just a blatant violation of your rights. And I think last time it was just as bad. Back up. You were backing up. You were just filming. I feel like if you have a camera, I've said it before, if you're out there and you have a camera, dude, they're going to arrest you no matter what. You can comply. You cannot comply. It's just, if you want to exercise your right, they're going to arrest you. They want you to stand 50 feet back, dude, and record. How does that work? Your camera's not going to get anything. You know what I mean? Your microphone's not going to work. How is that even reasonable?
Look, the whole don't understand, and that's just. And the thing that bothers me, it's already been understanding the law is not an
Yep.
job properly. And see, for the past, I think, years, all Fort Worth has been the Fort Worth Police Department, accountability, and respect. Those are the three things we've asked for. Usually, they've had so many reports done, man. It's like they're not getting the thing, because it's only a certain amount that they can be overlooked. Because it's that they get to overlabel them high crime and all this.
Well, Harvey Freebird jumped in.
Yeah, but look, listen.
Consent to government.
I caught them here in my neighborhood. Drop that come from their people, the anti-theft unit. They'll drop box loaded with stuff for people. I caught them. I called 911 to come pick. Right. So for them, then what I'm talking about, or what we're
Manuel, move around. We keep losing you, hon. You're popping in and out. Move around a little bit. Try to get a little bit better signal.
There you go, Heather.
Yeah. All right. Did y'all hear what I said? Did you hear?
You're still cutting, bro.
Yeah, I think you can turn it off. Yeah.
It could be the restream. The phone may not be strong enough for the restream. I have that problem sometimes.
Oh,
That's my.
always this goddamn restream. I got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
Miss
Hear
Phyllis.
me now?
Hey, Harvey.
I see him too, Heather. Well, I
Keep
got it.
talking.
After we're done with this too, because I don't want everybody to bounce. I got a video too that I'm going to play after we're done with this about the mayor. But
Videos.
it's.
I got some.
I got one up. I was gonna wait till we were all done with this. I mean, we could watch it if you guys want to watch it.
Well, but before we do that, I know one thing is we had a hell of a time getting Manuel out.
Yeah, give everybody a rundown, Heather, because we had people asking what was taking so long, and I didn't really know the ins and outs. So now that he's free, I think, you know what I mean?
Well, we were having problems. They
Here, time out real quick, Heather. I don't want to cut you off, but Manuel, Harvey just texted me and said, shut off your YouTube app, to close his YouTube app, and it might work better. Well,
Oh,
he jumped
we
off anyways. So go ahead. You're good.
Okay. Well, Lupe went and paid his bond on Saturday. They took it over there and they said, it could be Monday before he's out because there's going to be stipulations. We said, okay, that's fine.
Go ahead. You're good. Sorry.
Well, they didn't even bring him back to the jail. And we was like, what's going on? They said, well, he missed the line. We didn't understand. So we were
Of
on the
course.
phone all day yesterday. And today they brought him to the jail, started processing him, stopped it and said, oh, well, one of the bonds is unpayable. It's been reinstalled or whatever. Sent
Not
him back
reinstated.
to the place. And we started calling. Lupe sat down there, finally got a supervisor, found out what was going on. They have a new system, and they're still using the old system and the new system, and they're not integrated together. And so it took phone calls and being down there in person, getting a supervisor. They finally brought him back and finished processing him.
Which is insane because, like I said, I didn't know that's how it even worked down there. And it sounds like since they have a new system and an old system, they're clashing and not really knowing which one to listen to or which one's right. And now that's suddenly Manuel's fault, and it's going to take longer getting him out. It just, to me, it seems like games. They almost did. This is all probably done intentionally. Maybe not all of it, but some of it. And it's just new learning how it works down there. Because like I said, up here, you pay your bond, you're out within 2-3 hours max. Doesn't even matter where you are. But it sounds like they have a system down there that's opposite of for the people. Like, they literally make it as hard as they can.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And it's not. It's just,
There's some other things going on that I'm sure, once he has the opportunity, Manuel will talk about. And because there was a lot that went on, and it's been 3 weeks of trying to get him out and finding out what's going on. Hey, Great Lakes.
yeah, what up, Great Lakes? Appreciate you, bro.
Oh yeah, he helped us so much. I mean, he's one of my go-to guys.
Me too, and I only got put in touch with him because of you guys. But like, I talk to him every few days. He calls to me when he has stuff to talk about, or I call him, and he's always open to helping. And that's why I think it's awesome. I know he's a super busy guy, so I try not to bug him too much. But Great Lakes is the man, literally the man.
Oh, most definitely.
But it's I'm glad he's out. I'm glad Manuel's out. I'm glad we could show the people that he's out, and I'm glad that we could just demonstrate this. You know what I mean? What happens when we come together? He's got a very strong case here against Fort Worth, and I feel like all these people down in Fort Worth, once they start bringing their stuff to court, stuff might actually start training, or not training, but changing. And these officers eventually are going to have to change the way they do things after Manuel and the rest of these people hit that city for tons of money. I mean, look at all his cases. They're going to owe him so much money, and they're going to have to hope I'm sure he's going to stipulate that they have all sorts of training and stuff changes, but it's insane what's going on down there, and I'm glad he's free.
Part of it's, getting people on the city council that are for accountability and transparency, getting a mayor in there that's for accountability and transparency. And, it's going to take them, voting in and getting procedures changed and demanding change. I mean, that's where it's going to come from. And it's going to take like Manuel and his case to do something like that.
Absolutely. And it's not just him, though. The people of Fort Worth need to really band together. If this is not what they want, they need to come together and, like you said, vote the right people in, get the bad people out, and effect change. Because Manuel can't do it alone. Harvey can't do it alone. Carolina and Fort Worth can't do it alone. Even though they got a good little group of people down there working, they need the support of this community.
Oh, definitely.
And I feel like this is the direction, like this is the way we're going. And for Manuel, honestly, I could say, dude, in this community, I feel like there's so many people that back him. I don't even think I've ever talked to anybody like that said anything bad about him or what he does. Like, everybody loves him, and everybody backs them. But doesn't matter if we're all over the U.S. You know what I mean? Fort Worth needs to come together, and Fort Worth needs to stand up to this because this is unacceptable.
And I just,
Hey,
I,
is
I
Melissa
did.
still in the chat? Can somebody send Great Lakes the link?
I just did.
Okay, and Manuel's in too.
Manuel's in the chat. Manuel's in the chat.
Yep. If everybody wants to ask him anything, now's your time because the man is here. I know a bunch of people had questions for you the other day, Manuel, but we didn't have a lot of time with you on the phone that night, so we weren't gonna waste our time. Not waste it, but
Keep an eye on the backstage,
okay. I'm going there now.
basement, the backstage, whatever you want to
I
call it.
know. I forget sometimes. I'm there, so as soon as he pops up, he'll be in. Yeah, and this is the video, dude. Oh, that's not what I wanted. But this is the video of the mayor when I went to the mayor's office the other day. I can't get in touch with him, so I walked in on his live. So I'm going to show everybody that once we're done. I'd put it up, but there's some stuff that I want to point out in it. Where is he?
I hope he got those.
We got Melissa, but we don't have Great Lakes. Hold on,
Okay.
I'm going to move.
Hang on here.
What up?
Yeah, we're trying to figure.
Is it any better?
Yeah, my phone's.
All right, you sound better. People were saying maybe shut the Wi-Fi off or maybe do this or that, but it seems like you got it.
Oh, we got him back on.
Yeah, I had to come back on hers because I don't know, my phone's tripping. And but I don't want to start sounding paranoid or I'm weird.
I already thought about it. You're gonna say it, but I already thought it.
Oh, we've all thought it.
Great minds. But yeah, man. What I was saying earlier, man, like they come drop trucks from their auto theft unit, right? They have them in their pounds and they're full of. So for you to create an area and make it high crime and then try to what you are doing is wrong, right? And that's why they're mad at me because I pointed actually my point, right? Every time, and if you go back to all my videos before, I never had to literally put their hands on me and toss me around because I did not back up. The past 2 times I've been arrested, they've arrested me going backwards.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, if there's no proper way for them to tell us to do it, say we're going to keep violating your civil rights, even after Turner versus Driver, since 2017, it cannot get no more clearer. You cannot turn a First Amendment into a crime.
Yeah.
It's perfectly said. Listen to it, right? And they act like I don't understand nothing. I don't know.
Like you're making it up almost. They act like you're crazy.
I understand. I don't need to manipulate them to favor me. The law protects me.
Yep.
Texas Penal Code, and they're forgetting about the Texas Criminal Code. They have to follow them, right?
Yep.
And every time they don't, guess what happens to their cases?
But can I say something?
Bye-bye.
Can I just say one really quick thing, Heather?
You can say whatever you want.
No. What, hon?
They froze. There you. It's on froze now.
Huh? Can you see us, Heather?
Yeah, hon.
I'm giving you a big hug for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I'll be right back.
I don't get one.
They're not receiving the links that I sent them, so I'm gonna jump off here, send them the link, and then be right back. Okay?
All right, we'll be here. I just can't say enough, man. I can't be happy enough for you, man.
And what you said earlier about how I called you when you were going through, because that's how I want to teach other people, right? No matter what you're going through, or if you disagree with someone, whatever, put it aside, man, because the bigger picture is what they keep beating us at. The bigger picture is what they keep beating us at. And I think it's about time that we got, right? So it's like, I've always said it. Don't like bucking them or whatever, but be within the law. It does happen that they kidnap you and they officially oppress you, right?
Yep.
It's something that I heard a long time ago when I first started. It happened exactly the way it happened. That's it. That's simple. Everything has to happen exactly the way it happens. Right?
Yep. And like you had just said something very important too about people disagreeing with how they do things or blah blah. I didn't really have anybody bring me into this and show me the way. I just picked up a camera one day, dude, because I kept seeing all the stuff. I've been mistreated so many times it's not even funny. It happens. So I said enough's enough.
Trial
I may not
and
know
error.
enough. Yes. And I said I may not know as much of the law as everybody else, but I'll figure it out as I go. I'm sure people will help me along the way. And I went out, and what I see a lot in this community, it is one of the best communities I've been in, but a lot of people tend to nitpick or not like other people for how they do something. And I view it as long as they're out there, they're out there. You know what I mean? That's more than most people will do. So I can't sit here and disagree with what they're doing or put them down. We're all together, man. We're all on the same team. And if we start fighting, we're going to be like just every other group in America, arguing amongst ourselves, and we're really not going to get anywhere. So I feel like dogging or downing other people for how they do stuff isn't necessarily the way to go. We're not going to get anywhere fighting each other. We need to fight them.
And I'm glad you said that. Perfectly said. And to be even more clearer, look, we're all from different areas. We grew up differently. So for us to conform would be taking away. So remember that, man. You know?
Absolutely.
And you might
Absolutely.
from someone you don't agree with. Never know, man. And that's what I mean. Like we shouldn't like I can tell you for a fact, I have ones I know, right? But
Yep.
to me, if they're willing to still be, I am a little thrown off sometimes, right?
Yep.
I mean, why can't I agree sometimes what they do?
Yep.
And that's exactly what I'm talking about, bro. And I'm glad he jumped on here, right? Because if
Harvey.
if I can help him get stuff and he can help me, like stuff that they're telling, I mean, we don't have to be on the same line. We don't have to be, I do. People love it, man.
Yep.
And I love it. It's my it's my pump. But the thing to remember is, right, they're doing it to us because of where Harvey will tell you the same thing, bro. We're not rich. We never claimed to be rich, right? We areas, right? But we're thugging it.
Yep.
We're making it happen. And that's what I mean by people and that are willing to like help us in tough times. That's the bigger picture, and stop fucking tripping over, right? Because they're beating us by the bigger paying attention to, right?
Yep.
Be the bigger picture.
Exactly. And
You're absolutely right.
we're Tyrant County Lakes. You understand what we're doing, right?
Hell yeah, man. It's crazy. Let me say hi to Great Lakes and Harvey. Harvey's here. We got Harvey Freebird and we got Mr. Great Lakes Audits. How are you guys
Glad
doing?
to see you out, man. Glad you got out, buddy.
We love you.
Man, it's been a lot of work, a lot of late night calls, and no, there's some crazy shit going on. Just like dude, this more drama than the whole season of 90210, like the last 72 hours. Just try to get your ass out.
Yeah. It's Great Lakes was behind the scene. Harvey came on the live the second day to help us out. There's been a lot of work, a lot of people working.
Oh yeah.
Harvey was behind the scene too.
Okay, so he was behind the scene and on the front line of the scene. He reached out to me the day of, and I was actually really happy. Really happy because honestly, I had never done nothing like that. So to have people jump in, she's in.
There we go.
She's in. So
there's the bitch.
The squad.
Yeah,
the squad, man. Hey,
and some of the people of Fort Worth know the bit.
Yeah.
Hey, not follow y'all, man. Heather, Harvey, Constitutional, great. But y'all know what we're up against.
Good Citizen News.
Good
Yep,
Citizen,
Good Citizen News was
Public,
there too.
Oh yeah, yeah. He helped. He
Rogue
helped me.
Nation,
He helped me a lot. Yep.
Freeman, we can't forget about, you know
Well,
what I'm
then there
saying?
was San Joaquin did a video on you,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
I just like how we can,
Lupe.
I like how
Oh, Manuel. While you were in, Taya with the Real News Network did an update on you as well, and they are looking forward to talking to you and doing another update with you.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's my
Yeah, she sure
girl,
did.
man. Hey, there's some good people, man. Something I didn't like that. We're a carceral city that they give more money to police than healthcare and like roads and any other thing. And it's crazy. As much money that was given to them, there shouldn't be any crime, and police officers should be very respected. That's Harvey, right, Harvey?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, dude.
Respect you, Harvey.
No, they don't.
Why do you
Dude,
stay
I
away from over here?
Dude, I haven't even filmed Fort Worth Cops in months, dude. I can't afford it. I mean, I'm out on 3 bonds too. You know,
That's pathetic. You can't go out and tape your public officials doing nothing wrong because
I
that's what
can't.
they do.
They've shut me down. I mean, I've seen what they've done to Manuel. The last time he got arrested, and I saw that they chased him 60 yards on a sidewalk, I told myself, nope, I ain't doing it. I got to get these charges. I got to beat my charges before I can film them again. I mean,
And we
just not
talked
gonna
about
do
that
it,
the other
man.
day on the phone, Harvey. You told me that personally when we were talking.
And another reason is like Manuel. When Manuel gets arrested, like the community comes together and really fights for him, man. It's unbelievable what everybody does for you. And I just when I'm in jail, I don't think anybody would do that for me, man. So it scares me.
You said that the other day. I remember that. You were like, I hope if I ever get arrested, the community backs behind me. And it's the only reason I feel like we didn't do anything sooner was because we thought we couldn't. I was told every time I asked about your bond that you couldn't get out, and then it changed one day, and it happened so quick. Thursday night, it was we're gonna try and get Manuel out, and while we're all still here, because I keep forgetting, people still want to do something for Car Thief, Heather and Melissa. I keep getting asked about that. Caucasian Sasquatch had sent me a message, and he's like, it's cool that we did that, but he's like, I still want to do the Car Thief thing because I feel like people need to have some eyes on that.
Heather,
yeah.
we have a Car Thief, and we'll post that later, Heather.
Oh, they just
put stuff on my but I mean, I have knows the update and she and Great Lake Audits will put soon, right? GLA.
Yeah, the goal was to do a live. It was going to do a live. We were going to do a live Sunday, but some things were going on, so we needed some clarification. So to do one, but I'll be going live on Harvey's channel. Today's Tuesday, so tomorrow. If not tomorrow, it'll be Thursday for sure. Because something's
Give me a heads up, girls, when he does it, so I can make sure we all post it and we can get as many eyes on it as we can.
Yeah, I'll let you know too. Yeah, Car Thief is being transferred to be booked to be transferred back. It's weird. I'm
what
still trying to get
at his trial? Didn't he have trial Friday?
He had sentencing Friday.
Okay,
and that's what I'm trying to get clarification on is all of that because we don't know exactly, but we're hearing something. So I've got calls in. I'm waiting for a response. They're not very forthcoming. There is a lady there that's pretty sweet, and I might be able to get her to give me the information that I need. Sometimes it's about building a relationship or a professional rapport with someone, over a couple of weeks, few weeks, month or two.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you get something slid into a public records request that you shouldn't have access to. Check out my video today, my short. You shouldn't have access to these kinds of. So trying to get these people to be on your side, like when I was trying to get information on Mata 2 arrests ago. That's weird to see. 2 arrests ago. There's a lady down there that likes him and getting to be able to talk, like she appreciates him. So being able to talk to that individual, it was hard to get to her. But once I did, I was able to get the information. That's what's important is finding out one person You don't got to call in and be an a-hole every time. You don't have to be a hard ass every time.
Right.
But if you can, talk to someone like it's your mom or your grandma and they're on their deathbed and really kiss their ass, and like blow smoke up their butt, like do whatever you got to do to get the information. And then dog them later on once you got it. That's fine, you know.
And
But
that's important. A lot of people need to listen to that because a lot of people call and it just seems like they're on the offense the whole time. Like, and we shouldn't have to kiss their ass, but sometimes, as you said, we may need to play both sides of this to get what we need.
absolutely,
Get more
that's
with
how
honey
you get
than
information
vinegar.
that you can't get otherwise.
Most definitely.
Yep.
And like with the police, you know, I mean, when someone is there asking about their loved one, don't laugh. Don't laugh at them. The police
Yep.
were laughing in front of Lupe over Manuel.
No, I'll go on.
Yeah.
Heather, that's so wrong
Yeah.
on so many levels.
Hey guys, I'm sorry to tell you all this, but I have to go, which is right down the street, to pick up a Chase that he's given me, and so on just in the chat, and then when I get back, if y'all go back live. But Manuel, is there anything else you want to say before I go?
I just, for everything that y'all did for me, calling, whatever, man. I appreciate that.
Bring everything.
If anything that y'all take from me is how I can say thank you to a bunch of people I don't know, right? And really what I'm trying to teach everyone, and that's why I was going to say the cuss word. That's why I see my boy. Even though sometimes we disagreed on certain things, but that's the point, man. Connect.
Yeah.
Because if we're disconnected, they're going to beat us every time. You know?
And you
That's what they
can't
want.
grow if you just sit with like-minded people all the time. You have to have some kind of a differing opinion than yourself to be able to go as a human being and see other people's sides.
Yo, that's so important, Great Lakes. That is so important. To be open-minded is very important in anything you do, but especially this.
You know, y'all talk about that. That reminds me of Manuel's friend Thomas and what Manuel and what he was doing, and you know, getting groups together and going to the meetings. You know, that's the type of people we need that will come together and you know make connections. Like he made connections with Manuel, and look where he's at now. You know, that's the type of people we need.
You wouldn't expect them to be ride or die, you know, just on the just outside appearance. You wouldn't expect that, and they really worked so well together. You know, I loved watching Thomas and Manuel out together. That was always a fucking joy. Always a joy.
Yeah. I never met him, man, but that dude was awesome.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Well, for what they're saying with Manuel and Melissa, I don't know what everybody else's plans are. I have a video that I'm going to show on the live after this, so if you have time, you can always come back on if you get back in time.
Okay.
I don't know what these gentlemen's plans are, but anybody's welcome to stay or go.
Yeah, I'll be watching YouTube.
All right, yeah, and if you could get back on, you can just let me know. I'll check it and we'll get you back up. But we'll be on for a little bit. It's just it was important to show the people. Do what you got to do. This was awesome. This
Whatever. Trying to leave us. She's sick of you.
You guys are awesome. We'll see you in a bit. I'll talk to you in the comments, bud. We're here.
Bye.
See you later,
Bye.
Melissa.
Thank you.
Man, so good to see you outside of a jail cell.
It's nice to meet you outside of a jail cell. I've only known you in the jail cell, so it's very nice to see you home. And to be a part of it. That's the best part, is to be a part of this. I don't care what role I played. I would have been happy with any role, but to make it work and see it come to fruition is more than enough. We did it. We came together and we got you out. It doesn't matter how many days it took. I mean, it does. It still sucks, but you're home tonight.
And they had him the whole time he was in there. If you look at the computer said he was unbondable. And to me, that was just that's very deceptive bullshit right there. Because most of the people thought you couldn't get out.
That's what I was talking about. Harvey, that's what I was talking about, is they've got a new system and it's not integrating with the old system. And the old system is what's connected with the online search. You know, how many people are sitting in there
That
because
don't
their
have to be.
bond's not showing? Yeah, because their bond's not showing online.
It's
And
pathetic.
people are looking at it and saying, well, he can't get out. There's no point in me staying on hold 9 hours a day. You know, that's what's so
Yeah.
amazing about the way you guys didn't give up and just kept at it and fucking did what y'all did. I'm super impressed with what y'all did, man.
Well, I'm so glad you jumped on the second day and got in touch with me, Harvey, because it made it so much easier. Like I said, I haven't done lives like this and this type of thing, so to
Yeah.
have somebody else there with some of the knowledge, like a lot more than me, really helped out.
Yeah.
And you did your part. Dude, you found out, you woke up, you reached out to me right before we went on, and you were like, dude,
Yeah.
I didn't even know this was going on. How can I be a part of it, and how can I help? That's awesome,
I
dude.
didn't.
That's
I had
awesome.
no idea what was going on, man. I've been in a funk lately, man, and my girl dumped me. I've been kind of depressed, so I woke up and seen what y'all are. I woke up and seen what y'all are doing, and I was like, man, I got to figure out how I can help. Yeah.
Hey,
No,
Harvey,
that's awesome. We couldn't ask for any more.
I'll give you a clue about that. It's called
What's that?
answering your text messages and your phone calls.
Yeah.
Nah, but dude, trust me, I don't know if everybody does, but I get the funk and I get the depression, dude, because
Yeah,
I go through
dude,
it. After the state
I'm-
stomped me a few times, dude, there was a few times where I needed a few days to gather my
Yeah.
stuff. And it still happens, dude. I go to court and they do some BS, you get thrown in a funk. But for me,
Yeah.
how I get out of the funk, dude, is I get right back into it. It seems like for me, that's what helps, but that's not what
Yeah, it
is
does.
right for everybody. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
Mama
just-
D,
There's highs and
no,
lows. There's highs and
they
lows.
kept him 3 days. We paid the bond on Saturday. They kept him Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.
I
Yeah,
thought y'all
which is
paid it
insane.
Friday.
No, we paid it Saturday, right
Yeah.
before they closed.
No,
Oh,
because
it
remember
was
you were
Sunday.
on, Harvey. We needed your money. The rest, you put the rest in. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
So because we raised that day, dude. That second live, we raised over $1,000, dude. And
That was amazing in 1 hour.
yeah, well, we had somebody that from up here, one of my supporters, Jay Loro, who really wanted to help. He just didn't know what was left, and I didn't either. But I felt like we needed to do more, so I already set up the second live and everything. And then Melissa
Yeah.
reached out to me and was like, "We're gonna do it again. Let's go." So I was like, "I already got it ready. We're gonna go up now." And then I talked to you, Harvey, and I know I sent over. I think it was 200 right before the live started. You put up your 3 and Jay Loro ended up putting up 550, I think, which is amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He and I'm pretty sure he's from Connecticut. Like he looks out, he sends me a little bit of stuff here and there, but to see him come on and willing to help, like, and that's why I was really trying to figure out what was going on, because people were asking me, you know what I mean? Somebody's like, I sent 500. He didn't say anything, but I knew other people did. They were asking about it and this and that. It's not like we just stole your money. It takes time to do these things. Like, especially
Yeah.
obviously in Fort Worth. Fort Worth, it could take forever, it looks like.
Especially when they've been like transfer him to the prison because of overcrowding and holding him away from the judge because of COVID and all this other crap. Someone with COVID that didn't even get transferred back to the jail stayed at the hospital, so there's no need for all that crap they did to hold him down for 22 hours a day in their cell. But
Good
to transfer him, the whole point of transferring him was so that they can say he missed the bus. And it
To
took
delay
longer to get him out because of that. They did that just to keep him there. And then like, oh well, your bond's been renewed, but yeah, it's a zero. We don't know what to do. It's all designed to keep him in there longer. I guarantee you, I will stake my left foot on it that was intentional to keep him there as long as possible, make it as difficult as possible to get him out.
Oh,
Yeah,
hey,
hell
big
yeah, it
shout
was.
out. Big shout, Caucasian Sasquatch.
Thank you, Heather. That's what I was getting to. Go ahead. You want to do it?
I just want to thank him so much for his help Friday, and running the back stream and everything. Because
Absolutely. I had never even met him before that, and I liked him. To get on and do the live with him, it was kind of easy because he was a cool dude, and we were there for the same reason. But I wanted to give him a big shout out too. Everybody go check out his channel, Caucasian Sasquatch. He's awesome. He's a cool dude. I know he wants to be a part of the car thief thing when we do it. When it's time, he's asked me, and he's there to help the community. We can't ask for any more. You know what I mean? What else can I ask for? He came on, took an hour and a half out of his Friday night, dude, to help us in our cause. You know what I mean? I can't ask for any more. He's a good dude.
he does awesome interviews. Anybody who wants their channel promoted, email him at caucasiansasquatch@gmail.com, and he will do an interview with you and show your videos and get your name out there. He is an amazing man.
Caucasian Sasquatch. While we're on the topic, I don't have the email, but I want to do it. So if you got time, get in touch with me and we'll set it up. Because I like you and you helped us a lot.
Now that you got that police report today, you can put that up against that video and really bust it apart.
Oh, you're right. See, dude, that's why I love you. You're the man. Yeah, we got a police report today from New Britain Police Station, and they pretty much lied in the whole thing. They said that now there's 2 complainants when there was one before. They're both state employees from the police department. One's the payroll lady and one's the records lady. And as you pointed out, Great Lake Audits, they put the report in as if they were civilians.
They can't do that.
Oh,
yeah,
they did it. I have it.
Yeah, they put civilian right on it. Like they're not state employees or government employees or anything like that. It says civilians. Because it changes what you can and can't do. Because a civilian can feel that threat because you're recording them, and they can try and play that game of, oh, I felt threatened. But the government employees, you have a right, and the appellate court that Connecticut is in has rulings on public photography. So that's just to make it to where it's harder for him to defend it.
I was watching a video today of I'm sure you guys have seen some of his stuff. Michael Pickard. He had gotten arrested. Yeah, dude, he caught a case in 2015 where they slapped the camera out of his hand, and then you can hear them talking about how they're going to lie and set him up for charges, and then they did. They gave him infractions, and he ended up suing him. He got, I think, $50,000 from that. And in the thing I was watching today, which I've read it before, I'm going to read it again, though, is they were talking about the law they passed in Connecticut. So it protects us as independent journalists and stuff, filming our public employees. So it's not like this is new. I'm not the first one to do this. And the way they lied in the police report is just pathetic. Because like you said, they said they were civilians, but then in the report, it goes on to tell that their jobs and what they do, and then just blatantly lied. I never followed those ladies around. I stayed in the same spot until I walked away to give her some time to get into her car. And in the report, it says I was harassing them and I was following them, and they talked to me and I ignored them. And it still doesn't state a law I broke. Like, the laws are there, but all it says is that they felt threatened, which doesn't hold up to anything, because even if they were a civilian, it's still, I mean, they would press it more, but I'm still not breaking the law.
See, a civilian and the felt threatened threshold is a lot different than government employee and the threatened threshold. It shouldn't be, but it's different. Yep. You know, the government officials should know what can and can't be done, and a lot of times they still don't. We all see proof of that all day, every day. And the civilians are going to be less likely to know.
And this is the weird thing, Great Lakes, is that I showed you the internal affairs report where it said that all the officers, and let's not forget, they sent me an email telling me what I was doing. The chief of police sent me an email telling me what I was doing was 100% legal and that his officers were wrong and he was opening up an investigation. Well, he did the investigation, and he also found all the officers didn't do anything wrong. They didn't break any laws and they didn't break policy. So how are we both correct? But I have 3 cases pending in court and they're free. And then they've had to have done, he wouldn't tell me anything about it, but I asked him if he retrained them. Again, he wouldn't say anything about it. But let's not forget, I've been back, 3 times now, and they have not arrested me. I mean, they've played games. Like in the report, it says, oh, the car alarm was going off. The car alarm was going off because they set it off. I've been there every time but once they set those cars alarms off, like I'm doing something. And I can show that in court. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not touching these cars. Why are 2 or 3 car alarms going off at once that I wasn't even near? They're setting them off.
That's in traffic.
Yeah, the way, watch, I'll send it to you, Heather. The report is crazy. The way they lie, and I want whoever reads the report to watch the video again. Watch the video and then read the report and see all the discrepancies and see how they lie. They tried to say I was interfering because I tried to walk away, but they also told me I was trespassing in the 1st degree. I don't know. Nobody ever asked me to leave. They actually forced me to stay there, and then they charged me with trespassing for not leaving and then interfering for trying to leave. What?
That makes no damn sense.
Right? Absolutely none. And then breach of peace in Connecticut, and nothing I did falls under the breach of peace statute. I'm sorry they may have felt uncomfortable, but I didn't interact with them. I didn't even say anything to them. So just my camera alone scared them to the point that they needed to call the cops, and the cops needed to show up, and instead of educating their own employees, they arrest me and violate my rights, multiple rights. You know what I mean? I used the Fifth Amendment. I got interfering for not, like they said in the report, I got interfering for walking away. Well, the cop himself says I was interfering for not giving them my name when I didn't have to and not answering questions. So which one was it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, a lot of times police show up to a scene and they just automatically take what the person tells them at face value. Officer Darnell Peters, badge number. Oh shoot, I forgot his badge number. Officer Darnell Peters from Toledo Police Department. Darnell Peters is one of those guys. He just takes whatever the caller said at face value and fight it out in court. Like he's literally said that to me, and instead of doing his job and investigating, and it happened to me again today. Cop walks in. All right, Mr. Collins, you need to go. They want you to leave. I'm standing right there if she wants to leave. And I know she's gonna say no because I know. Because I've taught. I don't want to sound like an a-hole, but I've taught them how to respond to someone like me that's not going to identify in a public building. And there's a policy in place. Security guard didn't follow through. Instead, he puts his hands on me, grabs his gun, and calls the cops. Cops show up. Instantly. All right, Mr. Collins, you got to go. They want you to leave. No. How about you do a little bit of investigating first and find out what's going on? So the lack of understanding, it's a coast-to-coast thing. All 50 states, their cops, the amount of them know what's right and wrong, and is a great them. But the ones that are willing to take the time to understand why it's wrong and actually follow through with things the correct way is very few and far between. The most common thing that I found, like with Mata, is instant. Like when Mata was arrested on the sidewalk, huh?
I said it's not just the cops. You had a problem with the security guard that started all that.
Right. And the thing is, the cops show up and they know better, but they just don't care because it's the court's problem. Go to court and figure it out. Who cares if if it costs me $15,000, to fight, 6 charges? Who cares if I go spend time away from my family because I got locked up because someone lied, all up and down in a police report into the police, and there's a video to completely exonerate someone, and the cops don't watch it. Like Mata's situation, he's 100+ feet away, and he gets arrested for interfering before he's even had a chance to even say anything to anybody about anything. Mata is arrested just for walking down the sidewalk, going to the store, and that's interfering from 100 feet away. How can you physically interfere with something 100 feet away? Yeah, unless you were like throwing things at them. You know?
Yep. And we've seen it up here in Connecticut too. I got arrested for filming from 40 feet away and interfering. But like you said, the courts court will fix it. Court does not fix it because court takes the police report and they automatically go with what the police said. And I've seen it up here. We've seen it everywhere. I went to court 3 times, dude, begging the judge, the prosecutor, everybody to just review the evidence because what we're doing is wrong. And you know what that ended up getting me? Is a trial date with nobody still looking at the evidence.
Today, today in court, I witnessed a defense attorney asking the judge to have the prosecutor look at the evidence because the prosecutor hasn't looked at the evidence and they were going to set it for trial. The prosecutor, instead of looking at the evidence, dismissed the charges. That happened
Which is
2
crazy.
days.
That's crazy.
Manuel's in chat.
Yeah, I see him. I'm checking now. No, he's not yet, but he's here. So if he can pop up, he will, and I'll throw him up. It's just crazy, Great Lakes. You see it a lot because you're at court and stuff a lot more, but like it's just insane. As a regular person who picked up a camera and decided to do this, And I'm not, and like I said, dude, I've seen a lot of corruption before I did this, but to do it and be in the right and actually not breaking laws has opened up my eyes so much more. I get treated like I got treated when I was actually really doing something wrong. That's how they treat us. Like, it's not like it's any different. It's all, everybody's a criminal. It doesn't matter if it's for a big charge or a petty charge. Like, all my stuff is infractions except for in New Britain where they actually charge me with real charges. But I have infractions in 2 other courts. I have an infraction trial coming up in Norwich for filming a Domino's driver as he drove by. That's creating a public disturbance now. It's pathetic. And the cops show up, dude, and agree. The cops agreed, dude. Oh yeah, well, you really didn't do anything wrong, but it's always the but he has a complaint. So instead of going and educating this man, they gave me the complaint because they wanted my ID because I told them they weren't going to get it. Like,
wow.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
I'm creating a public disturbance right now with about 25 people in front of me with my dash cam on.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's just insane how they do it, though. It's literally, I mean, we see it, but it's different when you experience it. We see it on YouTube, we see it on TV. It's different when it's you. You know what I mean? And you really see it. And I think that's why more people need to pick up a camera and really go inspect stuff. I had a bootlicker yelling at me in the comments right before I came on another video, telling me all they did was watch a short of what I just was talking about, the Domino's thing, of me telling the cop, because the cop came up all aggressive, demanding ID, and me telling him he's not going to get my ID. And suddenly I have no respect and I don't know what I'm talking. And I said, how often do you get out and deal with these cops? I said, I get you have an opinion and everybody's entitled to it, but it's different if you're out there dealing with them every day, seeing this stuff every day, or you're just at home watching the news.
Well,
Exactly.
you know,
How much reading have you done about what is legal in your state? That's the most important. The most important thing is to find out what the laws in your state are and learn them. Everyone get on Case Text. CASETEXT. Case Text, all one word. Make a free account. You get it for like 2 weeks and just start looking up case law, and you can download the case law right there from their site. They'll also email it to you in a PDF form, so you always have it. Put it in a folder about resisting arrest, fear to ID, and get in there and just start reading the case law. And you'll see that most of the time, like if not all of the time, people that have like resisted arrest when the charges were dismissed, it's because the cops are too incompetent to understand like the keys and facts behind it. Same thing with like the failure to ID one is like the biggest one that I see that's a bunch of crap. You know, when there's a consensual encounter, you're not being detained. Like there is no state in this country that is a stop and ID state. There are situations where they can identify you.
Yep.
But there's no state that's a stop and ID state. Learn those laws.
I find myself correcting people a lot on that, Great Lakes. I feel like people don't quite understand that, and we need to. Well, I mean, we all are, but that message needs to get across that there is no such thing in America as a real stop and ID state. That they still need a crime. You know what I mean? There's still elements that they need to get that ID.
Exactly.
Well, and you know, Rogue Nation, he's got a good idea too of going and sitting in on some court cases. You know, go to the courthouse, pick out a court case that you know is similar to what we go through, and follow that case and see where it goes, and see how different they are, or you know what they are or aren't doing, and if they're following the laws themselves.
Yep. Yeah, it's very important.
I watched a judge give a guy his plea, his not guilty plea, because he said his attorney was in another court and will be here shortly. All right, well, not guilty, we'll reschedule it. And then she had to get corrected. They actually fudged the record, the court record about what happened.
Of course they do.
And I have absolute proof of that.
Hey, well, I don't want to cut you off, Great Lakes, but Jay Laura, who I just put his comment up, was a real fighting force in getting Mata home. He was a big help. That's who I was talking about before. I didn't want to cut you off, Great Lakes, but I wanted to give this man his shout out and his due. Yeah, you know,
much respect.
But sorry, but I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're good, man. You're good.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. That's like my case. How am I going to trial when I was never even arraigned?
Hello,
What,
like we're
what's going on here? Like,
It's crazy.
yeah,
I'll
and then,
bet you that.
but like he said, the records get fudged. They threw me out of court, didn't let me get court, walked out, gave me a bail commissioner letter like I missed, or no, gave me another court date, then sent me a letter like I missed court. I was at court. They refused to let me go into court and handle my business because their marshal made up a lie. And we actually just got all the records back from that incident, and the courthouse is refusing to give us the video footage because well, they said that they pretty much, it doesn't pertain to us, but it does because my buddy got arrested for nothing and then they made me miss court. It absolutely pertains to us. They just don't want to release it because of all it was a messed up video. And when we get it, dude, and release it, people are going to be upset. Like, and
It's exculpatory evidence because your buzz they put a capias warrant, a bench warrant out for you for failure to appear, which has consequences up and including being incarcerated and having your bond revoked.
yep.
That absolutely has to do with your case.
Oh yeah, they're withholding exculpatory evidence, like Aaron said.
But how can they say, okay, it doesn't pertain to you guys?
They
You know
can
what I
say
mean?
whatever the hell they want. They
Yeah,
can
no,
say
but
whatever they want.
It's in, I've sent it to FOIA in Connecticut to try and get them to help us. I can say that I haven't had much help or hope with them yet, but we'll see where it goes. But like we said, my boy has it open in case so he can get it through discovery. But
Well, at
why?
least they know what FOIA is. In Marshall County, my husband went to the courthouse to get some information, and the little girl at the desk goes, "What's a FOIA?"
Yeah.
And then the clerk, the main guy, the county clerk, comes over there and goes, "What are you talking about?" So my husband had to explain to him what a FOIA request was. I'm
That's
like,
crazy. That's crazy.
Some states
That's
don't use the
insane.
terminology FOIA because it's a Freedom of Information Act request. Federally, there's FOIAs. Some states have FOIA, but Ohio, it's called the Public Records Act or the Sunshine Law.
Yep.
So they don't use FOIA. So you sound like FOIA that, like, what's that? So I get that.
Yep.
But I do believe in Kentucky, they do call it, if I remember correctly, they do call it FOIA, right?
Tennessee,
Or Tennessee. Yeah, they call it FOIA in Tennessee.
I've seen it called different things in different states and different acronyms, but it's all basically, you know what I mean? It's all the same thing in the end. But
Yeah.
it's just what
Like
happens.
the
And that,
the FOIA law.
oh yeah, okay. And but the worst part of the stuff with like my stuff, dude, is I was in touch with I don't know what position you would call him, but he's the boss of all the marshals in the state. And every time I've went to court and I've had issues with marshals, because it's not just that court. They like real quick, I don't want to veer up, but like last time I was at court, dude, I was sitting in the courtroom watching court and a marshal ran up to me and said, "Let me see your phone. Is your phone off?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Oh, let me see the screen." And I was going to argue with him, but there's no point in it. So I hit my button and lit my screen up and he said, "Oh, I thought you were recording," and walked away. What? Like,
Get a warrant. Get a
yeah.
warrant.
Well,
paranoid.
I put it myself.
they
Get a
do it
warrant.
every courthouse I go to, dude. They mess with me. Danielson's a completely different than New Britain, and I've dealt with Danielson, no joke, since I was like 15 when I first started getting in trouble. I went there a couple weeks ago, and I walk in, and I've been, like I said, I've went there forever. I walk in, go through the metal detector, put my hat back on because in the lobby we're allowed to wear our hats, and the marshal lost his stuff on me, and I literally walked away from him because I wasn't in the mood. I didn't want to entertain it. I went and sat down, and I watched him stew for like 2 minutes staring at me, and then he came running over and tried to kick me out of the building because I had my hat on, and I said, "Why do I have to take it off?" He said something. I said, "Well, what, judge's order, what?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Okay, I need to see a copy of it before I remove my hat." And he told me, "We do not need to show you." And so he was about to go hands on with me. Like literally we were at that point, and I said, "I need your supervisor." And he got all puffy. He went and got him. The supervisor came back. He's like, "He needs to see a copy of it." And blah. He's like, "All right." And he walked away and he never came back. The funny thing about all that is, like 6 months ago, I went to court with someone else and they tried the same thing. And I listened because I wasn't at court for myself I just didn't want to create a problem for my friend. So I did it. I obliged. But I asked the marshal the same thing. Is it a judge's order or what? And he said, "No, our bosses just don't like it." Well, I'm not here to appease your bosses. You know what I mean?
Freedom
Like,
of expression. Freedom of expression. That's the First Amendment right.
yep. And it's just everywhere we go. But like the chief, I don't know if it's Chief Marshal, what his name is, the boss of all of them. When everything happened, he was like, yeah, I'll work with you guys and this, acting real cool. And then we get the records, and they said there's no records from their radios. There's no radio calls, but I was standing there when the guy used the radio to call for backup and lied. They said there was no phone evidence. They weren't going to give us the public employee. They didn't let us FOIA the public employees' phones. There was a bunch of stuff that they denied us, and it's just pathetic to see.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the stuff that's happening.
Excuse me.
We've been here over an
You're
hour. So let's pull up that video you're wanting to watch about.
Yeah,
the
I
mayor.
was just waiting for you guys. I didn't want to be rude. You guys can stay on if you want
I
for
don't
it.
even get why he does that you could really be doing something for the community.
This is it. This is when. So I've been trying to meet with the mayor, as I said before. He keeps ducking us. We had an appointment to meet with him. The day we were going to meet with him, he pulled out and said the town attorney and the town mayor denied him meeting with us. I put in another request telling him we won't talk about the things that he wanted to talk about. And let's not forget, this man has already agreed to a fundraiser with us that every $5 we raise, he's going to match it with $20. He's going to 4 times what we raise. He agreed to it. I have it in email. I have it everywhere. He won't even speak about that now because he tried to bring the fundraiser up like I was going to back down. He wanted half the money from my video I made when I met with him. And I told him, I said, listen, I get what you're trying to do, but we're not going to, I'll give you, that's going to be a few dollars. That's what I'm going to give you in a couple months. So I said, why don't we do a real fundraiser and actually raise some money for the town? And he agreed. And now he won't respond to my requests. He's not responded to my last request. And this is what happened. This is when I went down. He goes live every Thursday at 5:30. I was planning to be there for 5:30. I was sitting home on my couch, and at 4 something, and he went live. I live close enough to where I went and jumped in my car and drove down to the town hall and caught him out. And this is what happened. And I want everybody to see this because this is important.
Community
All
instead
right, my kid's about to get in the van.
You're good, bud. If you gotta go, go. I won't hold it against you.
Guys. See ya.
Later, Great Lakes. Appreciate you as always, bro.
Hey, I'll get a hold of you tomorrow. Heather, I'll call you a little bit later tonight.
All right.
Later,
All
bud.
right.
Stay safe. Enjoy your time with your kids.
Hey, you too, guys. Be fun.
Later.
Have fun. Be safe.
You too. Isn't that crazy? You gonna stay on, Heather?
Yeah, I'll sit here and watch it with you.
All right, all right, we're good. I'm just gonna skip ahead.
That's all I'm
So-
trying to do.
All right, so this is it. We'll go from here.
I don't feel like it should be this hard. It is Thursday. He's doing a lot.
I know he's up there at this point. I just didn't know he did it in the community room every week. If I knew that, I would have been there a while ago. I just wanted to do it right and get see what they said. And this is
Right now,
what-
he's on Facebook right now.
They're just like laying
Yeah,
outside
that's how I
with
knew he was here.
tracks.
But
Uh-huh.
Obviously, you can't just go and take.
are we allowed to walk up there?
Oh, I don't know.
We are, right?
Email to see if it's possible. I want to do some landscaping stuff and use them.
I'll check. And then if anything, I'll come back.
he's very rude in this.
So look at guys.
Oh, they always want to talk with their pants down.
Well, he tries to get under my skin by not act. He keeps saying, "Who are you?" I don't even know who you are. Like he thinks that's going to aggravate me, and I spin it on him, and he doesn't like it.
The mayor can't meet with us.
Sad part is only like 1 or 2 people watch his live a week, if that. Usually it's me asking him why he won't meet with me. Literally it is.
We found him.
Oh, that's a big room.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. If I knew he did it in there, I would have went earlier.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we could set up a meeting so we could finally talk.
Right here, but this building is always open. As you well as me, it never happened again. Miss Joe White has.
No, I know, but when we set up an appointment to talk and then the day we're supposed to meet, you cancel, and then I come and request another thing.
You're interrupting me. If you could
Well, there's no other way to get in touch with you. You should know who I am. You've talked to me plenty of times face to face.
Right though, that's what, and he's like, oh, we're here, the building's always open. Yeah, but he only comes to that building once a week for an hour to do that. That's why everybody's like, you should have. What happened, Heather?
So he's never in his office then?
No, never. And as we'll see after this, dude, and I even cut some of it out because I didn't want to put it all, like, everybody that works there has no faith in him. They all think he's a joke. And for him to just act like he does, like when his live was going, oh, the building's always open, we're here, making it appear.
I got to pull up what Phyllis said. That's because the mayor realized you have followers and he can't even get one viewer on his Facebook Live.
It's true, and I feel like it is because he got a big shock, dude, because AFA went to the town and then they arrested me, dude. They got so many people calling, and this is the sad part, Heather, is he actually, I don't know if he went to the news or if the news went to him, but like the paper out here put a story out about him, saying how people are calling him and they're harassing him and they're threatening his life. And then they use an example that said, I hope you get, something happens to you, like, I hope you get cancer and die, something like that, which is not nice, but it's also not a threat. You know what I mean? Like, put up a real threat if he's getting threatened. I don't think he was really getting threatened. I just think he didn't like what people were saying, and he was trying to take the heat off of my arrest and what happened with AFA. And I emailed the paper because they put that out, and then in the same article, it went straight from that to my arrest. So it looked like I was harassing the mayor and my people were harassing the mayor, which wasn't true. It wasn't true at all. And the paper actually, I was shocked, was like, yeah, that was wrong. We shouldn't have did that. And they wrote a whole article the next, it was a week later, like literally blowing my balls. Like they were on my side so hard it wasn't even funny. And when the paper's there, or like this, when his live is on, he'll meet, he's always available. We get treatment like that. And then we'll hit play right now and we'll see what happens after the live ends and how he treats me.
I just how many people request to meet with you that you don't meet with? Well, that should narrow.
Something I'm really looking forward to. Finally had someone come in. How you doing, son? Can I help you?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how we can set up a meeting so we can finally talk.
Well, we're right here. But this building is always open, if you've been listening to me. I never have any guests in the show. I miss Joe White. Joe White was off today. And
today we're supposed to meet, you cancel, and then
son, I'm talking. You're interrupting me. If you could just, do you have? I don't know who you are, son. Who are you?
You should know.
I'll fix that in a second. But I want to know how I'm interrupting when there's nobody watching. You know what I mean? Like if nobody's watching, what am I interrupting?
Thank all of you for joining me. We'll be here next week.
Go ahead, Heather.
I guess the people 100 years from now who research them will see it.
I'll get charged with interfering in 100 years.
Things are happening. I'll be here next week. Please get out and shop.
Here's another big thing. I don't mean to keep stopping it, but if you Google how much mayors in Connecticut get paid, it says they get paid on average $79,000. This mayor says he does not get paid to do his job. And I feel like he uses that as an excuse sometimes to get out of things. But I FOIA'd his payment, the town managers pay what they get paid, and the town attorneys gets paid. And they sent me a FOIA back pretty much telling me that they're going to try to get the records together, but there's some stuff I'm not going to be able to get. Like if you don't get paid, don't you think he'd be willing to supply those records proving that?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make, and as we'll hear here, he says something about tax dollars, and then he says, I work hard for my tax dollars. I don't receive tax dollars, so I don't work hard for my tax. I work hard for my tax dollars to get taken, but I don't work hard to receive them. And that's how I take what he's about to say.
Okay.
Let's see what he says.
Help the local businesses, help the local restaurants, and help people do a better job. things will get better. Life is great. Wyndham is a great town. I really do appreciate all that we all do to help have a great town and keep our taxes down. And again, I think that young man has just left. He seemed a little upset. I'm not so sure what his name is. I don't remember, but that's okay. I don't think he understands that I don't get paid. And he keeps thinking that I'm going to get paid, that I'm squandering your money. You work.
Another thing too, why even bring that up? I never said nothing about money.
You work hard for your tax dollars,
right?
My friends. You really do. You work real hard. And I'm okay with that. Everybody works hard. I work hard for my tax dollars too. And money doesn't come easy to anybody. So pay attention to the budget. We have a lot going on. And once again, have a great weekend. Hopefully Joe White will be here and he can help keep us going. Now, I don't know how to shut this off. Let me just see. Oh, man.
Right? He doesn't even know how to operate it.
God bless. We'll see you next week. Thank you, Wyndham residents, for watching me.
Only time you could catch the dude is when he's doing this. And now suddenly it's always open.
If he's not getting paid to be mayor, where is he getting his money from?
Well, and I think he says that just as like a ploy. I agree, but people don't understand that he's one of the richest people in this town. He owned Willimantic Waste, which is a big trash business in Willimantic. Like it's probably the biggest business in Willimantic, if not in the top 3. Like, and I think he sold it off. If I'm not mistaken, he no longer owns it, but he is very wealthy, and that's why he's promoting the town. Like, oh, go to these restaurants. He's not out there spending money in the town. I never see him. He challenged me one day, like, why don't you do something for the community? Man, you go to my page and see what I do for the community. You may not agree with it, but that is community work. I'm out there with our homeless, our drug addicts. I help people get into programs. Like, I do everything I can so for him to say that really pissed me off, because what does he do for the community? In the past, since I've been auditing, I've only seen him do 2 things, and one was at the town hall on Cinco de Mayo, so it doesn't even count. And then the second time was when I seen him, he was doing a toy drive at Stop and Shop over the winter, and he just stood there while the police collected the toys. But that's it. He doesn't.
Gotcha.
He's not out. He ain't doing nothing for the community. He can't even do his work properly. What he does is this one live a week. And as we have Phyllis right here saying, this guy says nothing on these Facebook lives. He goes live for an hour, has 1 or 2 people watching him. He discusses nothing, and that's his work for the week. I never see him doing anything else. So it doesn't add up. And as we'll see right here, the employees will talk about him, and we can see how they feel.
And that dude's a liar, just like most of our other public officials, but this dude's at the top of the list.
His pockets are deep, National.
Yeah, but yeah, now suddenly it's weakened me, and I wasn't not meeting you, and this and that. So I'm not going to stick around, because I'm just going to come here next week at the beginning of the thing.
He didn't say that flat out, but that's what I had gotten when he said, oh, the business is or the building's always open and we're here. That's what I was feeling like he was saying. He was trying to get out of saying that he doesn't meet with me. And that's why I just rephrased it a little different.
And I'll talk then.
Watch this,
sit up there or do whatever. But yeah, there's no other way. It's not. I don't even know who you are. I'm like, how many people do you not meet with? Like, you've talked to me face to face many of times. You know who I am. Like,
sure
he does, because that's what I asked him. I said, so you set up appointments and then cancel them with people a lot? And he's like, well, no, I don't do it. So then narrow it down, dude. No, he's not here. He don't do anything. I can't. You never see him here working. He doesn't care. He don't care. He wants the title, and that's it. Yeah. So I don't know if I need to write something or whatever, because usually he's here later. Like, I was going to be here at
usually here at
5:30, right?
5:30,
And I was going to be here at 5:30, and then I'm sitting on my couch and I see his thing pop up. I'm like, this dude's there right now. I'm going. I got my car and I drove down here, because that's the only time I can get him.
Yeah.
He hasn't responded to my last request where I told him we didn't have to discuss the things he didn't want to discuss. And he's already agreed to do this fundraiser that people want to do. So
he's about to walk
we
in.
need to set that up. But I'm gonna hold him to it. I got people that want to drop $500 right now, just because they want to make him pay $2,000. Like, so if it's,
It's true. I have people waiting
I
right
know
now. He's already agreed. So
he probably won't talk to me now either. So I'm not even gonna wait around. But I'll just come here at the beginning next week, and that's how I know. That's the only reason I can keep tags on him is when he goes live. Like, that's pathetic. But now that, well, I'd like to say now that people seen it, he's like on live, because I walked up and he started talking right while he was on live. Finally, like one, why does he do that? Nobody even watches it. Nobody watches it. I go on there, there's one person, me, talking shit. Like, all the comments are me asking him why he won't meet with me. Like, it's crazy. But have a good day.
How you doing, son? No shoes today?
No, it's relaxing day. We gonna set up that meeting?
Yeah,
Rude
he's
as
gone.
hell. That's a,
watch, he walks right back out.
What was your name again, kid?
my name?
Yes.
Well, Daniel Kokoska.
Relate to that other Kokoska guy that used to live on Prospect Street?
No.
I wasn't the greatest with the camera here.
We're not gonna set up a meeting? I'm gonna be here every Thursday at 5:30.
Good.
I'll be your one person watching. Dude's crazy. He's crazy.
Isn't that
I've
pathetic,
never
dude?
met a mayor like that. Like,
Isn't that pathetic, Heather, though? He literally ignored my whole stuff, like my question, like what, and I don't know. He was literally trying to get under my skin. And when I went back, that's why I included his clip, because it looked like when I was up there talking to him, I couldn't really hear him that clear. And everybody's like, you should have just went in on him then. And it's not my goal to be a douche or to do these things. Like, he asked me to let him finish, so I was polite and I let him finish. Now I regret that, and I will never do that again, because look at where that gets me. Being polite and allowing him to finish his stuff, look where it gets me. And I guarantee you, Heather, next week when I go, he's going to be doing that in a locked room where I can't get to him.
And probably earlier.
Yeah, I think he's going to change it up all the time now, because he's going to try and throw me off. But if I'm around, and because I got work, I got to leave the state on the 7th. Till then, I'm around, and I'm going to try and get him. And I'm going to try and get him when I get back. And in the end of that video, it doesn't show, I got the town meeting scheduled. We were talking about it when Mata was on, going to meetings and bringing these issues up. And I feel like it's time. I'm going to start doing Willimantic, and I'm going to start doing New Britain. And start bringing attention to this stuff, because just dealing with the police department, that the mayor doesn't even see anything wrong with the cops arresting me on the sidewalk for talking. He literally said it was my fault and the cop didn't want to arrest me. She didn't even want to arrest him. Well, I wouldn't want to arrest somebody that didn't commit a crime either, but she did.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Hey, Martin Retro Radio. He's been a big help too. He's kept in contact, checking up on Mata and everything. So I want to
where
give
is
him
he? Oh, right there. Everybody, does he have a channel?
Yeah, Modern Retro Radio.
All right, I threw it up. National, if you can, get that link and throw it in the chat. Everybody go check out his channel. Heather said he's also been behind the scenes helping out. And I think that we need to get everybody that deserves credit for this credit. I can't remember since I've been auditing, seeing a group like us come together and actually meet the goal and get the person out. Can you?
I've been in a couple, but this one, the way it went, just it amazed me.
Honestly, I was so glad that it did, because like, I didn't tell you guys, but I was super nervous about doing that. I was so nervous, and what I was most nervous about was like just not being able to make it, like giving him hope that we're going to try and do this, and then doing it and then being like, yeah, we can't do it, or we only got part of it. Like, and it just, stuff with money scares me, because then people say we send people send money. I know that Lupe's legit and wouldn't play games, but like, people get funny with money. So I try to stay away from doing stuff like that. But for this, it just had to be done. And the way it was brought to me, I couldn't say no. You know what I mean?
I completely understand.
I'm just so glad that it worked. And like, even though it took longer than it should have, that man's going to be sleeping in his bed tonight with his girl. I don't know if they're married, but with his girl, and he's not going to be surrounded in overflow in a prison with 100 or 200 other dudes and some guard that shouldn't even be a guard telling him or all the people what to do for
Exactly.
him exercising his rights. This seems to be the American way now. Just arrest the real Americans and keep arresting them until they can't do what they're doing.
John DeNicola, he says, before you go to the meetings, read the Roberts rules.
I need to. Yeah. Is John, where are you from? Because I see you everywhere, but you got a lot of knowledge on Connecticut stuff, and I'm trying to get a little band of people in here that are from Connecticut. Jay Lauro is the one that donated to Mata. Actually said, let him know when my next court date is, and he'll come to court with me, which is awesome. So,
hey, John DeNicola, he's actually in Discord with us. If you ever show up,
I do. I come in and read everything. I just don't usually write. I'll start getting in there more. I'm not gonna lie, it confuses me. That's what I got to do is figure it out. I'll start going in. Yeah, John's from Mass, so he's pretty close. It's I don't know. I can't say how happy I am.
Oh, he's up there with AFA. Okay, yeah, he ain't too far.
No, Mass, and I've been talking to AFA too. So, AFA wants to get some attention on the New Britain and the Willimantic police departments and the issues going on there too. He said he's going to bring a lawn chair down and we're going to go sit in the parking lot at New Britain. So I'm hoping that happens. I've been in touch with Leroy too because he's local. I called him. He called me the other day and I wasn't able to grab it, and I've been waiting for him to call me. So today I just randomly called him, and we talked for a few minutes before he had to run. I don't know. I feel like I'm just blessed that I found, and I give you guys a lot of the credit, but you and Melissa, even in the background, like you guys have helped me and my channel grow beyond, like, and I don't mean just grow number wise, but all around. You've put me in touch with Great Lakes. Melissa put me in touch with AFA, and I feel like once we start banding together, our knowledge really comes together, and we're gonna be an unstoppable force sooner or later. Like,
oh, most definitely.
It's coming. I think Mata needs to hopefully stay out of trouble for a little while so we can start flipping his cases and he can start actually getting some stuff.
Okay. Everybody needs to keep the cameras rolling, keep asking questions, don't roll over, start filming, the town meetings, go sit in on some court cases and, figure out your state laws and what's going on locally, and let's get all this shit changed.
Absolutely. And it's going to take all of us. It's not one person. It's not a group of people. It's going to take a majority of the people. So,
well, we've been on here an hour and a half, hon. So I'm going to have to.
You're good. I was just thinking the same thing. We're good. I was trying to wait to see if Mata was going to come back up, but it seems like they're busy. And I can always go on whenever he wants to or whatever. So, we're good. We'll end it with that. I showed what I needed to show. We got him up here to talk. I think we had a great, a good thing tonight. A lot of people got together. A lot of people got to see Mata's face. They got to see what the hard work puts out, and we're rolling. We're going in the right direction. And it's people like you guys that keep us going, and do a lot of the work. So you guys got to get the credit too. Everybody go check out Heather Holt's channel, Melissa Stedman's channel, Great Lake Audit's channel, Caucasian Sasquatch, Retro Radio. Am I forgetting anybody, Heather?
Harvey Freebird.
Harvey Freebird. And I'm sure there's some more. We'll put something together up so everybody can see who's a part of everything and check everything out. But thank you, Heather. As always, it's a pleasure. You're amazing. I couldn't ask for anything better or more from you. And I'm just glad that we did this. And it just shows that we'll be able to do it again if we need to.
Oh, no problem. Definitely.
I'll talk to you soon. Have a good night.
Bye, guys. Love
Everybody
y'all.
else, check out all their channels. Go raid Manuel's channel. Watch all his stuff. See all the stuff that's been going on to him. The travesty and injustice in Fort Worth, Texas, is out of control, and it's going to take.
I gotta go.
No, I already thought you were gone. I'm sorry. Here, hold on. You're good. What? Yeah. So I'm going to go with that too. We've been on here for a while. I appreciate everybody watching and being a part of it. Keep on trucking. That's what we're going to keep doing in us.